Good morning. It's good morning, Anambra. We are delighted to be here this morning. It's the 10th day of July 2023. My name is Nonya Mokoye, welcoming you to the show today. We have a lot of things for you today. It's all about information, and of course, where we have to entertain you, we'll bring that in as well. You're welcome to the show. It runs Monday through Friday. And today on the show, we begin with the press review. You're welcome to the press review. On the press review, we take a look at some of our national dailies and, of course, stories making their headlines on ABS website. We've been joined this morning by two public affairs analysts in the studio. I have with me Paulson Okeke. Paulson is also a journalist. Good to have you. Good morning.
Good morning.
You're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
And we also have Comrade Mike Opia, Public Affairs Analyst and the Executive Director, OK Center for Development and Civic Education. You're welcome to the studio, sir.
Thank you for having me, and welcome, viewer.
All right. We begin with looking at stories making their headlines on ABS website.
Okay.
Now, on ABS website, we have ABS receives Excellence Strategic Communication Award from Rotary Club. And Anambra Works Commissioner commends quality of work on Okozo Omonia Road project. Anambra Culture Commissioner asks stakeholders to support Soludo's vision, and Archbishop Ibezim cautioned youths against engaging in social vices. Now, let's begin from you, the journalist in the house.
Yeah, I want to align myself with Bishop Ibezim's call on the youths.
Nah, the phone, oh.
Yeah, on Bishop Ibezim's call on the youths to shun as capable of leading them to social vices. This is very germane, this is very necessary. Because when you look at what is happening in our society today and the attitude of the youths, you might be tempted to ask, Ndia or Wandia to not have leaders of tomorrow. Because the society has placed a lot of emphasis on the youth, a lot of challenges, that they are leaders of tomorrow. And because they are the leaders of tomorrow, they are expected to live a particular life that bequeaths that responsibility of tomorrow's leadership. But you see the way they engage in social acts, social misconduct, you wonder. You keep on asking, did they come from a house or did they come from a home? Because you see most of them, when they take to drug, you keep on calling them Mulu and so on. It is because what they are doing does not depict that quality of leadership. You see the way they talk, you see the way they react to issues in a very violent manner, and you keep on talking to yourself as Romakas. These are the things that Bishop Ibezim is talking about. When the leaders of tomorrow who comes from a home should behave, you actually know that he comes from a home. But if there are these people who come from the house, anything you see, you take. The attitude will actually tell you where they come from. Is it the youth that engage in drug addiction? Is it a youth who can club from Friday to Friday? Is it youth who can drink, who cannot do anything that will point them out as those who the society is looking up to as leaders of tomorrow? There are good ones of them, and when they behave, you will actually commend him or her. Because you see, these are people whose mandate is, what do I do to become a better citizen? And you see him or her working towards it.
You know, one thing is actually cautioning these kids. Then another thing is high time to, open up stuff and let them be gainfully engaged, things that could actually deter them from taking to the negative trend.
Yeah, there are such things because like the Anambra State government has engaged in one youth to scale.
Is that enough?
It is not enough, but at least it's a step in the right direction.
Because as a church calling for that, no, they should also have something in place.
The churches I know have vocational centers where people can go and learn one vocation or the other instead of roaming the street. Okay. Yeah, the churches have such centers. So for any person who chooses to be useful, there are places the person can walk into. There are centers for leadership training, acquisition, leadership centers where people can go and for mentorship. It is there, but it all depends on what does one want. Okay. There are people who believe in if I don't make this money today, I will not make it again. They engage in all manner of cyber crime and other crime activities. That's not how to do it. We should take things gradually.
All right, okay.
Okay. As much as I agree with you, my brother, completely, maybe 99%, there is still 1% that is we've not touched. The behavior or misbehavior or ill conduct of our youth now is a reflection of the bad leadership we have, the neglect, the failure of the system that is reflecting on the behavior of our youths. This is not to say that all you said is not correct. Part of our problem of our youth today is get rich quick syndrome. And some other attitude by our female youths that you look at, you don't know how to react to it. You begin to wonder whether we are still from home, like you said, whether these people had sucked their mother's breast, whether, you can't situate it. These are also part of the problem of the system, of the society. So while we are calling for the youth to behave well, let's call to parents to look into the affairs of their children from the beginning. These days you see child parents. Yesterday it was a drama between me and the child mother in Regina Kelly bus stop there. You have a child of less than just about a year and you are dragging that child in her hand, crossing the express road. Isn't that madness? And I look at her, even a child, dragging another child that is her baby. And I have to drag her back. I said, are you crazy? Carry this child before you cross this main road. I said, Daddy, don't daddy me. If you don't carry this child in your hand, none of us will cross this main road. You see, these are the issues we are talking about. At the end of it all, that girl has no husband. So single motherhood contributes to this societal misconduct because a child begetting a child. God made the family to be of two, mother and father. Once it becomes one, bringing up that child, there must be a lacuna, there must be a room for misconduct or ill brought up of that child. You see a mother sewing tight and spaghetti for a baby girl of 5 years, and is working with the spaghetti at that time. So when he grows up at 18, he will go naked. There's nothing strange for her.
All right.
So these are the part of the problem.
It is not just that. He has made a very valid point to what we were discussing. Because the mothers of these days are mothers who were not trained. And nobody can give what he doesn't have.
Exactly.
So when mothers are not trained, these millennial mothers who can barely cook, who can barely raise, who were not raised very well, because their own mothers were busy engaging maids to do domestic chores while leaving them in the parlor to control with remote control television and to watch TV and all manner of. Now he has grown up. Now she has grown up. She has become a mother. So what manner of child or what manner of training do you think she can give to her children?
All right.
That's why you go to public places in the night. You see them carrying their own children coming to bar to club,
all right.
to various drinking places
well, I think we've done justice to that. It's a very big topic. Yes, and I'm even looking at you whether you're not going to congratulate us.
No, it's very, very.
When I read it, I said yes. I was part of this ABS. When you come in, you start looking for where to sit down. But now the structure is at least standard as our resources can carry us. The output from the journalists here, the broadcasters, if you want to know the standard of ABS, go and watch it at the Facebook or internet. That's when we know that we can now say this is the station of my state. So I'll join a Rotary Club to say congratulations to ABS.
Thank you.
More, be more professional and do it.
Reward for hard work.
Yes, it's another work.
It's more work.
So we are saying.
And I still want to commend ABS and join in congratulating them. Because winning an award on strategic communication is not a thing everybody will wish away. It's highly commendable. But what is ABS, Anambra Broadcasting Service? This is a place where people perform magic to do their job, but the staff are so dedicated.
That is it.
This is a place I know too well, and we used to say, "Na Ijiaka eti igwe na ABS," because this is where they barely have the necessary equipment to do their job, but they are doing it, and they are doing it professionally and excellently. So kudos to the ABS management and the staff.
Thank you.
You people are doing well.
Thank you. We are glad. And let's move on now to the first paper for review on the press review this morning. Let's see the Daily Sun newspaper and see stories making their headlines in front of that paper. Article hit Tinubu hard. Says current APC government worsening poverty, warns president's supporters not to disrupt tribunal's proceedings. Economy already bad before his coming, says Man, Nasima and others. Now 14 die, 9 injured in Lagos auto crash. Plateau governor imposes curfew as gunmen kill 9, raise 6 houses in community. Tinubu emerges new ECOWAS chairman, harps on regional security. World Bank loan threatens a $500 million investment of local meter manufacturers. Ohaneze Governor Oti Item people mourn Iruku and account for $5 billion Abacha loot. Court orders Obasanjo, Yar'Adua, Jonathan Buhari government. And we also have Anglican primate urges support for FG's economic reforms. That's the much we have in front of the Daily Sun newspapers. Now, I don't know which one is of most interest to you. Let's begin from there.
Okay. I want to talk about the Plateau killings. The Plateau killings.
Is it just Plateau or even Benue?
No, that's what we have in the banner here. Plateau governor imposed curfew as government killed 9 and raised 6 communities. I think the Plateau killing has become a very, very big challenge to the federal government.
Seems to be a norm now.
Is it when these communities are wiped out by the so-called unknown gunmen? Because there's no way, no day you tune to the news without hearing 9 killed in Plateau, 6 killed in Benue, and so on. Those axes, what do the killers want? Do they want to raise the whole communities? Why is it that the federal government has not taken enough steps? Now we have new security chiefs in place, and they promise to rejig our security. What are they still waiting for? And luckily, the chief of army staff, or chief of defense staff, is from Kaduna, nearby state, the southern Zaria people. So all these areas are the people who are suffering this thing. Why wouldn't they just task themselves that this issue must stop, and they give themselves the ultimatum that within this period and this period. Why wouldn't they develop a template?
Or is there something they're not telling us?
Or is there anything? I keep on wondering, because each time I tune to the news, you keep hearing this so-and-so number killed in Plateau, in Benue, in Kaduna, and so on. It's not that they don't kill us, but this one is something else. It is more of ethnic cleansing than what we have in other parts of the country. And that is why everybody should be bothered. Is there any group trying to dominate the other and wants to wipe them out? This is what those in our security system should ponder and provide solution to it.
All right, Opia.
Yeah, my worry, my brother, is not the killings. My worry is that when the killings started, we know why it started. We know the genesis of these mass killings, the conspiracy, the agenda of the Fulanis to wipe out non-Fulanis in the northern Nigeria. It was clear. It was not a hidden thing, because Buhari was there tacitly and even openly supporting them. Now that I will have another government from South, have you heard the president making any commitment, any statement against these killings since he became the president? Because he was on the stage the day he was inaugurated, and according to him, he was carried by anointing, and he pronounced that subsidy is no longer there. But since after that anointing to today, he has never been inspired to make a formal statement, a stand of the federal government in this type of killings that we have. Has he made such statement? That is pointing to another issue that we are talking. What is the position? When he was the leader of APC and all these killings were going on, he never made any statement condemning this killing. Now he is the president, and he has never made any statement, official stand of his government, as he made in subsidy and other things, against this genocide. Are we still on the same pedestal before he came?
All right.
So
all right, I think we move to other stories. I don't know, this death on, since we talked about killings in Plateau, let's also look at that auto crash that happened at Lagos-Ibadan Highway recently, and you begin to ask yourself, could that be as a result of a speeding or whatever? A trailer and a bus colliding. It's almost all the people in that vehicle died. I don't know.
Yeah, my heart goes out to the families of the people who lost their lives there. But anybody who knows Lagos-Ibadan should have to contend with the volume of traffic on that road. And the recklessness of the drivers. Each time I'm on that road, when I was flying there, I always hold my breath until we exit at Shagamu end. But from Lagos to Shagamu, the volume of traffic on that road cannot be on any other road in this country. And that's why they said they are widening the road. They are trying to make it 8-lane and 12-lane and so on. The last government said they will do it, and they didn't complete it.
I don't know if something could be done, in this country, that when certain things happen, you may be hearing of, incidents of maybe people wounding themselves, than the level of death casualties we have on road traffic accidents these days. If there is anything that those in authorities could do, like the same Lagos-Ibadan, you hear, like last 2 years, most times it was a tanker got in fire, killing a lot of people, and this time around, people are also dying on accidents. Is there nothing the authorities or those in authority could do actually to reduce these things to the barest minimum?
No, those in authority, what would they do? They would tell you that they are trying to reconstruct the road, to expand the road because of volume of traffic. But at the end of the day, they are always sleeping on doing the job.
Because I believe that when things are done properly, like in developed countries, if you want to drive, if you're having sight problem, you will not be given license. You will not drive, you know, and so many other things that could be checked before someone actually becomes a driver. Like I entered the public transport and the driver was just sipping, what is it called? All this their alcohol they put in sachet. I was asking the man this early morning. He said, I was like, somebody that is driving a bus.
On the wheel.
Yes, on the wheels, and he was just sipping and use it as, I don't know if he's snacking or something like that. You know,
a part of the causes of all these accidents is, like we just said, apart from the recklessness on the part of the drivers, which is encouraged by the neglect by the authorities that are supposed to. We're in this country whereby the road safety will stop you and they will smell your mouth whether you're under alcohol. It's no longer so these days. You see a vehicle overloaded, and as soon as he approaching the security post, he just stretches his hand, he gives the money, and he moves. Nobody cares about the condition of the vehicle. The road situation is even the worst. Now, the Benin road is breaking. Get to that bridge, the right side has caved. The left side has a big hole. If you are there, you will be seeing the river down there. That was where it consumed 15 pastors from the Salvation Ministry. Because the driver was not aware of the state of that portion. And with his speed, he rammed into that and hit Dangote truck that's already there. 15 pastors died on the spot, plus other. In fact, the whole occupants of that vehicle perished there. But there is agencies by the federal government that are looking to that place. Nobody is doing anything in this country, and it's part of the problem. And one of them is this constant accident, people dying on the way. And look at it. Even here, go to Rome, go to Thameside. You see a vehicle that once it's closed, nobody else will open it except the driver. If something happens and the driver is not conscious to open it and there's a fire break, everybody will perish in that vehicle.
Because it could not be opened from outside.
From outside. I'll begin my own personal check. Any day I'm entering public bus and it could not be opened by passengers, I'll step down. Because the authorities have failed. Nobody, the so-called vehicle officers no longer check the condition of the vehicle.
Did they even stop them? They stop mostly
private
vehicles. I think the people they will get money from.
That is one most unfortunate thing about our regulators. Those who regulate our transport system do not have business to do with commercial vehicles. Yes. Rather, private cars, because they believe that the man in the private car is in a haste. They can get more money from him they can get from commercial vehicles. Therefore, their attentions are always dwelt on private cars.
Okay, let's run. The Punch newspaper is next in our lineup. Let's see stories making their headlines in front of the Punch newspapers. Ministerial appointment. National Assembly awaits nominees as Tinubu sends list to DSS, EFCC, others. We tried there. Head of service reshuffles the secretaries ahead of minister's arrival. Others Tuesday resumption. Permanent secretary writes Bajabiamila, Akume's security chiefs, others on redeployment. Presidency, I worked against Atiku, says Fayose. Adamu, NWC members on collision course over APC account audit. And the LEA arrests Delta Church workers, seizes drugs in states. Immigration officer shoots protester dead in Ogun community. 18 Benin Republic bound partygoers driver motor boy die in Lagos crash. FG2 shot online banks pestering debtors. Also we have cost of living, more Nigerians may join Japa train as hardship worsens. Tinubu emerges ECOWAS chair rallies members against coup. Okay, can we look at the ministerial appointment?
Yeah, it is one list everybody is waiting for in this country today. Yeah, because unlike the the former government of Buhari that waited for 6 months to appoint his ministers, it's not expected that Tinubu should wait for even that 2 months, because he is a man who had dreamt this job. He had prepared for this job. He had made every arrangement, and when he was campaigning, he grabbed the job, because he said power is not shared like that. That you have to grab it, and eventually he has grabbed it. So by now, he said he hit the ground running. We were supposed to have had our ministers 40 days. So by these 40 days into his leadership, his ministerial list is supposed to have been ready by now, but thank God they say it has been forwarded to EFCC and DSF for scrutiny. It's a normal thing. We are waiting for that team that will help him to salvage what is left for him, because it is humongous when you talk about the problems. Managing more than 11 trillion naira debt is no tea party. So it's a very big challenge for anybody to come. It's 77 trillion debt he inherited. So with that 77 trillion, I don't know, if you call me to come and preside and manage this debt, I will tell you sorry, because I don't know where I will start. But for some of them who have the heart to go and get that position and to see how they can manage 77 trillion naira debt, I wish them luck.
Okay.
But let him pray, and our Nigerians pray, that we assemble such an experienced team that will not be full of politicians, and that will not be full of men who have been indicted by EFCC or who have cases in court. Let him go and select a crop of men that have something to offer to economic revival of this country, because we don't have a country. And any Nigerian who is pretending we have a country might be living in delusion. Thank you.
Okay. All right, quickly, the next story in the Punch. Yes. Can we look at the Nigerians suffering and the Japa syndrome?
Well, this is what is really happening now. We've created, on Punch, they were arguing when Tinubu said that the economy, this government is making the situation hard. It wasn't the situation. They said it was already bad before he came. It was bad, but now it is, we're talking of worst. We're worsening the situation by the unguarded policy pronouncement and action of the present government, okay, that is creating this hardship. And is pointing to one direction. Okay, those of us in the civil society, we are looking at a direction whereby the government is closing every avenue whereby they subsidize the activities of the citizens to be able to rake in more money for themselves. Okay, because now you talk about subsidy is gone. The 400 billion naira they say they have saved since the subsidy was removed, who is accounting for it? What have they done specifically for that 400 billion they say they saved? What is the cost of the subsidy coming up? Have the president make any pronouncement on putting our refineries back in order? These are the issues. So the situation is getting worse by the day, and there's nothing you can do but for the Nigerians to find a way. Nigerians even find a way to go and live in the Republic of Benin instead of living in Lagos. Because once you cross over there, there's another air blowing. At least the Republic of Benin, you have a constant light, which is being supplied by Nigerians, but Nigerians don't have. They have the good roads and every other thing. So the Japa syndrome will continue by indications of this present government look at the issue of
and the major thing there is the cost of living.
The cost of living now, because of the policy of the government that is leading to that. Now they are now telling us that by September they will remove any subsidy the government is putting in education. So students in federal institutions are going to pay tuition fees. You see, these are the situations. You can't even pay what they say is subsidized now, not to talk of when it is removed. And they tell you that they have a student loan where have already been counted out. Well, they say when you and your wife income per annum is more than 500, your son will not benefit from it. So who and who will benefit?
All right, quickly, let's move on. The Daily Independent newspaper. Let's see stories in front of the Daily Independent. And remember, you can call in and make your own contribution with the phone lines on your screen. Now, banks overwhelmed by forex demand face liquidity squeeze. 15 died, 8 injured. We've seen that before. Tinubu, okay, we've seen that. Chief Governor imposes 24-hour curfew on Mango local government area. Tinubu's supporters warned against disrupting tribunal proceedings. And 4,560 kg skunk seized in Lagos, Adamawa, Osun. Aviation, okay, airport concession. Aviation stakeholders back NAS call for investigation. We also have PSC dismisses 3 senior police officers, demotes 9 others. And former Governor Yari was not arrested for refusing Tinubu's call. That's coming from DSS. Now, court orders FG to account for Abacha loot recovered since 1999. I don't know if we can look at the police issue. You know, that I saw that story. I was like, if this is done in good faith, let people that have done wrong in all the sectors be disciplined accordingly. That's the issue of the police dismissing 3 senior police officers and demoting 9 others. If actually these are people that did something wrong, something that require discipline, and if this is taken into all other sectors in Nigeria, every office, actually, that when you do something wrong, you will be disciplined according to the rules.
Yeah, it is something that is very, very good. In any system, they say there's what is called incentive reward system. If a man does well in a workplace, he should be rewarded. That's incentive to others. But if a man is not doing well, you remove him. The police is one agency or one organization every Nigerian or most Nigerians will not see any good in. Reason, because they said when one bad apple spoils the rest. One bad apple. So it's better for it not to spoil the rest, remove that bad apple. There are many,
that the rest will be saved.
So that the rest will be saved. So there are many good policemen out there, very good ones, if you engage them on one-on-one basis. But the general condemnation is that the police is bad because of attitude of just those few people. So the Police Service Commission is the regulatory body of activities of policemen in this country. Therefore, if they have a complaint that a particular police officer has engaged in act of misconduct that is very, very inimical to the services of the police, why would they keep him there? So that is very, very important. And that is why retirement or dismissal of some erring ones is very good, so that it will serve as a deterrent to others. So there's nothing wrong with it.
Okay.
For those who were demoted, serve them right. Because it's not only those people that were demoted that are in the police. So they must have done something that has been proven beyond reasonable doubt that they are culpable.
All right.
Okay. Having said much about that, let's look at the banks overwhelmed by forex demand. Okay, this is expected. You know, we are still running a dollar economy. If you don't have dollar in your hands, you have not belonged. So everybody wants dollar, whether those who are trading within Nigeria. There are companies that don't take Naira, and they are operating in Nigeria. There are countries, there are companies even government establishment that price all they are doing in dollars.
There are schools that pay in dollars too.
There are schools that pay in dollars in
and
Nigeria.
You call that a system.
And you call this a system, okay? And nobody has done, in fact, we are looking up to this government.
And the thing is that the funny part of this is that when you go outside the shores of this country, I've experienced that personally. You want to get naira. You won't find it anywhere.
Find it anywhere. Even in Republic of Benin, very hard to get.
But here people will be paying fees.
Brag with dollars. That's part of the problem. That is the problem we have. And until we address that, this inflation will be going on. This hard time in our condition of living will be going, because if you have 1 naira now, it's hard to look at what is the equivalent in dollars. It's because that 1 naira has no place in a dollar system.
All right, quickly, let's we take the Guardian and the Daily Trust together because our time is fast spent. We take them together, then we pick the ones we look at. Now, 5 ex-governors, technocrats, lead Tinubu's 42-man cabinet. Okay, we can see their faces there. Wike is there. El Rufai is there. I think, is that Gandola? Be waiting. Ganduje is there. Okay, and so many others. All right, we keep our fingers crossed until the list is finally out. Let's know others that are also there. Tinubu emerges ECOWAS chairman. We've seen that before. Now, Dangote congratulates the Guardian publisher on 40th anniversary. EPA hired to destabilize Southeast, frustrate Kano's relays to enrich self, says Ohaneze. Terrorists kill 231 persons in Mango Council area. Okay. Mango is I think is in Plateau State. Okay, we move on to the Daily Trust newspaper now. While local rice continues to rise, millers and farmers speaking. We have riders there blame corruption, inadequate party supply, poor irrigation, seek subsidy from federal government. Tinubu must wade in citizens. We supported 4.57 million farmers. That's coming from the CBN. And we also have Tinubu image, okay. Sokoto butcher killed by Amoteco in Oyo. Okay, that's the march in front of the paper. And as we are taking a look at this, I think it's high time we bring in the court ordering Abacha load. Court orders FG to account for Abacha load since 1999. We're going to use that to wrap up. All right, but for now, let's look at the 2 papers we've read out.
Yeah, I want to talk about why local rice production
keep rising.
It keeps rising because the central bank's policy, what do they call it, anchor borrower program failed. We don't have any reason. We say we are a rice producing country, and so and yet a bag of rice is soaring to as much as 50,000 naira now. When imported rice across Cotonou, just behind our door there, is 10,000 naira. So it shows that our farmers cannot produce national demand. If you ask me, I will beg the federal government, or like they have opened the borders, our borders, let them bring in rice. Because it is the ban on importation of rice.
To make the prices to come down.
It will stabilize the price.
Okay.
Because a bag of rice is no longer affordable for common man here.
You're talking about common man. We're talking of even the rich.
Even the rich.
50,000 naira for a bag of rice.
When your salary is 30,000 naira, the minimum wage, and the bag of rice is 50,000 naira. So tell me, so for 2 months you will not eat in order to buy a bag of rice.
Quickly.
So these are the issues we are talking about. But the issue of the expected list of the minister is recycling of 5 governors. Most of them have baggages in their skeletons in their cupboard. They are not going to be but who does not have a skeleton in their cupboard in the present dispensation. So that is it. But let's keep our finger crossed and look at the diversity of those appointments.
Okay.
So, There's one you said we are going to end with. What is that?
That's the
Abacha
issue of Abacha loot. The federal government, they called on Obasanjo, they called on former President Jonathan, and of course Buhari to make account, to account for the loot, Abacha loot.
The Abacha loot was recovered and relooted. That one has taken, from Obasanjo's time.
Even from Abubakar.
Even from Abubakar. So it is good this call is made, at least to awaken the consciousness of the leaders. But there's need for investigation, okay. And then we'll talk of recovery. I wonder how it's going to go. So, but it is good that that call is made, so that we will come to realize that this Abacha loot, $5 billion. No government will appoint at the project they use this recovered loot to execute. It is a terrible thing.
All right, looting and relooting,
But that was it. Now, if you check when Abdulsalam Abubakar was there, that was when the loot started coming in. Now, when he came in, at his handover to Obasanjo, no mention was made about it. Then Obasanjo himself, during the time, for that 8 years, there were some monies being repatriated. At the end of the day, from Obasanjo to Yar'Adua to Jonathan.
All right, we can actually go on, and I tell you, until accountability is enforced in our nation, not just in political arena, but in all sectors of the economy, we will continue to hear such stories. And actually, this is where we are wrapping up with the press review this morning. We'd like to appreciate you so much, Paulson Okeke, for being here, and Comrade Mike Opia. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for being on press review this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much.
And that's it on the press review. We have more coming up on Good Morning Anambra Show. Just stay.